I didn't intend for that to be what it felt
Yes,
like.
that's cool.
You just
all
said,
good.
you
The
just
truth.
stated a fact.
Yeah. Okay, it's time for my
And you
Mazel.
don't mean shade.
I didn't mean the shade.
No, he didn't mean it to be shade.
I wanted it to be out in the open. Like, no matter what you do, you get these different status. Like, you'd be like writer, producer, a mogul.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get in trouble, they go rapper.
I think going to go to the Clive Davis party.
Yes.
It was a surreal event where Whitney's body was still in the hotel, and there was this sort of party where apparently half the room were in tears, the other half were kind of partying.
I wanted Luther to do what he needed to do. I think he was in such pain and not wanting his mother to see him always that way. I said to myself, I think he just wants to go home.
When the marriage failed in the mid-'80s, I opened myself up to the possibility that I could have a relationship with a man.
From the get-go, the music industry has been crawling with exploiting young female artists just to push their favorites to the top, like Beyonce. Ever wonder how they do it? Their managers and producers pull the strings. And right now, the most notorious name in the game is Clive Davis. Yep, you heard it right. Recently, legends like Patti LaBelle and Chaka Khan have come forward, spilling the tea on his shady dealings. And honestly, when these divas start talking about everyone from Luther Vandross to Whitney Houston and Prince, everything falls into place. It's all starting to make sense, and it's ugly.
I thought that was complete insanity.
And the things about which these divas are spilling about, Clive should be shaking in his boots, because when these powerhouses unite, you never know what bombshell will explode. This is exactly what 50 Cent has been talking about.
And no one reports it when it starts to become positive.
Right.
And then as it started to, work his way out, I felt better about me poking fun at it.
50 Cent, never one to hold back from calling people out, no matter who they are or what they're up to, is now teasing some serious gossip about Clive Davis's latest party. You know, the one he throws every year before the Grammys? There have always been whispers about what really goes on at those bashes. Some shady business that us regular folks aren't in on.
It's like an African chant.
Ain't no more team. What
What's Puffy doing? I'm gonna have a drink to forget about it.
Word on the street is that 50 Cent's got some seriously disturbing videos from that party, and he's not about to keep them under wraps. But wait, there's more. Rumor has it that Diddy might be making an appearance at this bash. You know Diddy, with all his past controversies and lawsuits, dude's been keeping a low profile, but now he's supposedly turning up at this party. Seems like can't keep the party boy away from the party.
Have you been to these parties personally? Have you seen them?
You can't get.
That's a Doggy Diamonds question. Shout out Doggy Diamonds.
Right.
Shout out Doggy Diamonds.
You can't make it to the real party.
So just how crazy are these Clive Davis parties that 50 Cent's risking it all to expose? Well, get ready for a wild ride, folks. Clive Davis, a real industry bigwig, no doubt about it. But like most big shots in the biz, he's got his fair share of scandals and controversies. There have been all sorts of allegations thrown at him, questions about his personal life, and whispers about the not-so-glamorous side of those annual parties he throws. And hey, let's not forget those rumors about him supposedly making Diddy get on his knees for funding Bad Boy Records, if you catch my drift.
Diddy and Clive Davis, have they ever had anything past business?
But before we get into all that juicy stuff, let's talk about 50. He just can't resist teasing Diddy. This time, he's taking a shot at the bad boy boss for deciding to skip the 2024 Grammy Awards. Yeah, even though he's nominated and all. A rep for Puff Daddy confirmed he won't be showing up at the ceremony next month. Posting a screenshot on Instagram of Hip Hop DX's report on the matter, 50 commented, "Wait, Puff, I think you should go." Eyes emoji, grinning face emoji. They not gonna give you no trophy emoji trophy, Elmo, get the F out of here. And people have suggested that if he is talking about Diddy, it means he is indirectly taunting at Clive, as well as both share a very tight relationship, more precisely a suspicious relationship. But what Ms. Pat and Chaka have exposed is more shocking, which even ends up like his friend Diddy, like when Patti revealed secrets about Luther Vandross's struggles before and after death. Patti LaBelle set the internet on fire when she dropped a bombshell about R&B legend Luther Vandross during a live TV interview. Appearing on Bravo's Watch, What Happens Live? With Andy Cohen, LaBelle confirmed the long-standing rumors. Vandross was gay. She revealed that her dear friend struggled with the decision to come out publicly his entire life. He didn't want to upset his mother, even though she might have known. He wasn't going to announce it to the world, she explained. He had a lot of lady fans. He told me he just didn't want to upset everyone, she added. It was hard for him. During that era, male musicians often bore the burden of being a fantasy for their female fans. For Luther Vandross, whose velvety voice captivated audiences, being gay was seen as a threat to his marketability. The real tragedy isn't Patti LaBelle outing Vandross without his consent. It's the societal pressure that forced him to hide his true self.
And he had a lot of lady fans, and he told me that he just didn't want to upset the world.
In truth, Vandross seemed indifferent to the speculation surrounding his S. He neither confirmed nor denied it. His silence speaks volumes about the constraints placed upon him by societal expectations and the music industry at the time. In a 2001 interview with Vibe, Vandross jokingly responded to the years-long chatter about his S. "What do you want to know?" he asked. "Am I bi-coastal? Yeah, I have houses in Beverly Hills and New York. I know that I'm paying a price for being so private, and I do wonder if it's worth it," he added. Who would have wanted to come out in such a nasty climate? Nothing about being out at that time seemed safe or worthwhile. Like any black gay man, closeted or not, Vandross only desired what anyone wants out of life: love and happiness. In the same Vibe interview, Vandross admitted that he had never been in love. "I'm still waiting," he said. "The time that I've spent being in love has never been reciprocated. Those are just the circumstances." At the tender age of 16, he encountered his initial taste of unrequited affection. The reply was a simple, "Thank you, but I'm not interested," he reminisced. "It stung deeply, leaving me feeling isolated and disconnected. I yearn for the simple joys of domestic life," he confessed. "I long for someone who isn't bound by employment to genuinely care about my whereabouts." Maybe that is why he never married in his life. Renowned for soulful classics such as Dance with My Father and Never Too Much, Luther Vandross captivated audiences worldwide with his captivating voice and musical genius. Despite his immense popularity, questions often linger regarding Vandross's place of birth and personal life. Vandross never married and did not have children during his lifetime. According to his close friend and colleague Bruce Valanche, Vandross shared a significant relationship with a man during the late 1980s and early 1990s, although the identity of his partner remains undisclosed. Patti LaBelle also affirmed this aspect of Vandross's life in December 2017, shedding light on this aspect of his personal journey. Ironically, a man celebrated for serenading audiences worldwide with love songs, crafting a timeless soundtrack for generations, found himself unfamiliar with the very love he sang about. It remains uncertain whether Vandross ever did encounter that fairy tale love before his passing. Nevertheless, it's saddening that he grappled with the challenge of openly embracing his true self.
Are you in a good place now in your life?
Depends on when you ask me whether or not it's a good place.
Are you happy?
Even in 2017, while we are witnessing improved LGBTQ representations in media, there's a notable absence of such representation in music, particularly within the R&B genre. Presently, Frank Ocean stands as the sole openly gay black man in mainstream R&B. This stark reality highlights the considerable distance we still need to traverse toward inclusivity and representation. Regrettably, we'll never ascertain whether Luther would have felt empowered to come out, akin to his former J Records boss, Clive Davis, who did so in 2013. What remains clear is that Luther's obscured truth is a product of an industry and a society tarnished by bigotry. And this is where people's speculations started to solidify. Rumors have it that Clive Davis may have pressured Luther into a gay relationship. However, Luther never wanted to come out publicly for his mother's sake, which is why he never openly acknowledged his S. It only came to light when Patti LaBelle spoke about it. Some believe that Clive knew about Luther's S orientation and might have propositioned him for a relationship. When Luther refused, that's when his career began to decline. Clive Davis is a highly influential figure in the music industry, renowned for his immense power and track record of success. He notably launched Arista Records, where he signed numerous major black acts, showcasing his talent for spotting musical potential. His roster of signed artists is impressive and includes Patti Smith, The Outlaws, Eric Carmen, Expose, Ace of Base, Air Supply, Dionne Warwick, Ray Parker, and Radio, Aretha Franklin, and Alicia Keys. Davis also played a key role in giving Puff Daddy his start in establishing Bad Boy Records. However, his most significant success came from discovering and nurturing Whitney Houston's career.
By spending time with her when the picture was inescapable. There were two times, one live, where she came to my home where we had a personal.
While Clive has earned acclaim for his musical productions, he now finds himself at the center of discussions regarding his romantic life. After 2 marriages and divorces, Clive embarked on a journey of self-discovery, openly exploring the possibility of being attracted to men as well.
Total love and support and understanding that after my second marriage failed, because I had been 100% heterosexual up until that point, that I opened myself up after the failure of my second marriage, having read something about bisexuality.
During this period of self-reflection, Clive came to the realization that his SO was not exclusively heteroous, marking a significant departure from the convictions he held during the first 5 decades of his life.
Open myself up to the possibility of a relationship based on the person and not on gender.
In his published works, he described the Studio 54 Inches era, a period when he was married to his second spouse, Janet Adelberg. On this night, after imbibing enough A, I was open to responding to his S overtures, Davis wrote. Was I nervous? Absolutely. Did the heavens open up? No. But it was satisfying. The experience prompted a period of soul-searching and self-analysis. Following his separation from Adelberg in 1985, Davis entered into relationships with individuals of various genders. From 1990 onward, he's been involved in 2 enduring relationships, both with male partners. You don't have to be only one thing or another, Davis said in an interview with U.S. chat show host Katie Couric. I opened myself up to the possibility that I could have a relationship with a man as well as the 2 that I had with a woman. In another chat with Nightline, Davis complained that BS is maligned and misunderstood. For over 50 years, I never had S with a male, he said. It wasn't repressed. I had very good S relationships with women. Clive said that he is not ashamed of his S orientation. He said, but I never stopped being attracted to women. Bi-S is misunderstood. The adage is that you're either straight or gay or lying, but that's not my experience. To call me anything other than bi-S would be inaccurate. However, his alleged most talked parties with open use of all types of Ds and Whitney's dead body full of Ds also suggest that he may be involved in her death or at least may have introduced her to Ds. And more importantly, he was the last person she met before her demise. And reports have suggested that Luther Vandross tried to protect Whitney from Clive Davis. That is why people have suggested that Clive may have also a Luther as he mentored him as well. Well, if we talk about Whitney's death, nobody revealed it best as Chaka Khan did because she was her best friend. Chaka Khan is renowned for her bold and outspoken persona, never shying away from addressing issues she feels strongly about. One notable instance was when she criticized Clive Davis for hosting a party at the Beverly Hilton just hours after the sudden death of Whitney Houston. During an interview on CNN's Piers Morgan Tonight, Khan expressed disbelief and disapproval, calling Davis's decision complete insanity.
I thought that was complete insanity. And knowing Whitney, I don't believe that she would have said.
In her candid remarks, Khan reflected on Whitney Houston's character, suggesting that Houston would not have wanted the show to go on under those circumstances. Khan's critique highlighted the insensitivity of hosting such an event in the same building where Houston had passed away, especially considering the profound impact Davis had on Houston's life and career.
The show must go on. She was the kind of woman that would say, stop everything. I'm not going to be there.
The 10-time Grammy Award winner had originally intended to attend Clive Davis's annual party, but was deeply affected upon learning of Whitney Houston's death upon arriving in Los Angeles. Chaka Khan expressed feeling paralyzed by the news. She also criticized the decision to have Houston in Los Angeles for a full week before her pre-Grammy performance, particularly given Houston's history with addiction. Khan felt this was an irresponsible move, considering Houston's struggles and the immense pressure she was under.
I couldn't put on makeup. I couldn't get dressed. I couldn't do anything. I was paralyzed. I couldn't do anything.
Reflecting on her own experiences as a recovering addict, Khan emphasized the importance of proper planning and support for individuals in recovery. She believed it was a mistake for Houston to be in Los Angeles so far in advance of her performance without adequate support or treatment. Khan further suggested that those responsible for bringing Houston to the city for the performance should have taken better measures to ensure her safety and well-being, emphasizing the need to keep potentially harmful influences away from her.
Now, it sounds all suspect and crazy, but it wasn't. We were just 3 people talking.
It's fascinating to consider Clive Davis's pivotal role in Whitney Houston's rise to superstardom. He recognized her exceptional talent and wholesome image, which greatly contributed to her success. Davis's influence in guiding her career undoubtedly impacted his own financial success, with his net worth reportedly soaring to nearly $800 million. However, as Whitney Houston navigated the complexities of the music industry, she faced profound challenges. In her candid 2002 interview with Diane Sawyer, Houston revealed unsettling experiences and personal struggles, shedding light on the darker side of the industry. Her words and demeanor during the interview conveyed a sense of unease and caution, revealing the depth of her inner struggles and challenges.
It was rough. It was rough. I think I kind of reverted back as I got older and said, well, I'm just going to party, you know? It was kind of a rebel in me.
During an interview, Whitney Houston raised concerns about her dispute with Clive Davis and hinted at a potential conspiracy against her. By divulging industry secrets, she inadvertently made herself vulnerable to exploitation. Some sought to undermine her credibility and diminish the impact of her revelations by exploiting her struggles with addiction and other vulnerabilities. The news of her unexpected passing came as a profound shock, especially given the circumstances leading up to it. It was a tragic turn of events that deeply affected the music world. Unfortunately, like many artists in the entertainment industry, Houston faced challenges with addiction. Her ongoing struggles, coupled with declining health, overshadowed her career and ultimately led to her untimely demise.
It's my deciding. It's my heart. It's what I want and what I don't want. Nobody makes me do anything I don't want to do.
The tragic events unfolded on February 11, 2012, the day before the Grammy Awards. On that day, Whitney Houston, accompanied by her family and friends, checked into the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Los Angeles, where many music industry figures had gathered for the Grammys. It was a tradition for Clive Davis, Houston's mentor, to host a pre-Grammy party. As preparations for the evening's festivities were underway, Whitney Houston's assistant, Mary Jones, briefly left the room after arranging Houston's dress on the bed. Upon her return, Jones discovered Houston unconscious and face down in a water-filled bathtub. Despite efforts to revive her, Houston was tragically pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. at the scene, marking a sorrowful moment for the music world.
George, it happened here at 3:43 yesterday afternoon when a member of Houston's entourage located her body inside this hotel. So far, police and the coroner are refusing.
During the investigation into Whitney Houston's death, police discovered an open champagne bottle and a spoon with a white crystal-like substance near her. Additionally, various medications, including an antidepressant, a muscle relaxant, and allergy medication, were found in her system during the autopsy. The coroner's report, released weeks later, cited heart disease, drug use, and accidental drowning as contributing factors to her passing. Houston also had a mild case of emphysema, which affected her breathing and contributed to the decline of her powerful voice. Regarding the controversy surrounding his involvement with Whitney Houston's life and death, Davis has faced allegations and speculation, especially given his close association with Houston and the circumstances surrounding her tragic passing. The media scrutiny intensified following Houston's divorce from Bobby Brown in 2006, amidst accusations of AA and a turbulent relationship documented in interviews with Oprah Winfrey in 2009.
The talk was I was with her because I needed something from her. All I needed was her to love.
Following her divorce from Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston made efforts to rehabilitate her public image, while Brown moved on, remarrying and expanding his family with his manager, Alicia Etheridge. They married in 2012, just months after Houston's tragic death at the age of 48. Despite the tumultuous nature of their relationship, there was a deep and enduring love between them. Brown was visibly emotional upon hearing of Houston's passing, as witnessed during a performance and reported by The Hollywood Reporter.
If I could get those 2 days back.
Contrary to common belief, Whitney Houston's struggles with substance aware not solely attributed to her relationship with Bobby Brown. Robin Crawford, Houston's close friend and confidant, revealed that signs of problematic D-use were evident in Houston before she met Brown. In an NBC interview promoting her book, A Song for You, My Life with Whitney Houston, Crawford disclosed details about Houston's history of D-use. Crawford, who was also reportedly Houston's lover, recounted how she would caution Houston against D-use, reminding her that it was not conducive to their goals. Despite Crawford's warnings, Houston continued to struggle with stopping her D use. Meanwhile, speculation surrounding Clive Davis's involvement in Houston's death gained attention, particularly after Davis revealed he was the last person with Houston before her passing. Davis, a highly influential figure in the music industry, is renowned for his achievements, notably founding Arista Records and signing numerous successful black artists such as Patti Smith, Aretha Franklin, and Alicia Keys. He played a key role in launching Bad Boy Records with Puffy, but his most significant discovery was Whitney Houston.
My spending time with her when the picture was inescapable. There were 2 times, one live, where she came to my home, where we had a personal.
There are widespread beliefs among many people that Clive Davis was the one who introduced her to D, especially considering his history, which has often involved allegations related to D dealings. It is also believed that he even ruined Phyllis Hyman and Prince. It's suggested that she had insights into the inner workings of the industry, possibly shared by Clive Davis, and she tried to caution Prince about it. These insights may have contributed to the struggles in her own life.
I can't afford to get overly depressed about the lack of a permanent man in my life. You know, just trying to feel better about myself, regain my confidence.
Seeing the success of her cover of Betcha by Golly Wow, Phyllis caught the attention of Buddha Records, and they wasted no time signing her up. In 1977, she dropped her debut album simply titled Phyllis Hyman, and let me tell you, it was fire. One of the standout tracks, Loving You, Losing You, climbed all the way to number 32 on the R&B charts, solidifying Phyllis's place in the music scene. And she wasn't done yet. Another single from the album, No One Can Love You More, also made waves, peaking at number 58.
No one can tell me.
Enter Clive Davis, the big shot president of Arista Records. Clive had a reputation for finding talent and shaping them into stars. But Phyllis wasn't about to be molded. She knew exactly who she was as an artist, and she wasn't about to compromise. Clive, however, had other ideas. He saw potential for Phyllis to cross over into mainstream success and wasn't backing down. He took the reins for her 3rd album, Somewhere in My Lifetime, and even brought in heavy hitter Barry Manilow to produce the title track.
Where in my lifetime.
After the smash success of her 4th album, Phyllis was ready to be treated like the star she knew she was. But instead, she found herself facing pushback from the label and Clive Davis himself. She speaks very briefly, but very directly how Clive Davis ate her. Clive Davis taught me to never be afraid because I was so terrorized by him. Whether he meant to do it or not, I'll never know. But he sure taught me that if you try to terrorize me again, well, we can't say that on public radio. What I might do to someone who tries to hurt me like that again in this business, I'm not having it. I should be respected as I respect, and I will not have someone try to ruin my spirit and ruin my career. If Clive Davis, if his plan was to destroy my career, it didn't work. It left her feeling frustrated and downright exhausted. To make matters worse, Arista started signing more female artists, including big names like Angela Bofill, Dionne Warwick, and Aretha Franklin. Suddenly, Phyllis felt like she was getting lost in the shuffle, and it wasn't just the industry stuff weighing on her. Phyllis also started experiencing mild bouts of depression. Mental health struggles were nothing new to her. The pressure of fame was starting to take its toll, and people suggest that he may have done the same with Prince as well. Prince's revelations about Hollywood took a darker turn when he sadly passed away in an elevator. The circumstances surrounding his death in that elevator were especially eerie. Prince was always described as an S symbol, and people suggest that Clive may have forced him to be in a gay relationship with him, as he did with Luther as well. One person wrote, "The industry has been K-off artists for a long time now. MJ, Prince, Whitney, etc. When you no longer want to play by their rules, this is your end, or they will destroy you in front of millions. This industry is very evil." Another fan wrote, "It's heartbreaking to think of such an icon being in a position of helplessness, knowing they were coming for him. And everyone around him was wicked. Soon as he got ownership BCK from his music, they K him." That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.